Hey, Raina.
Hi, Megan.
How are you?
I'm alive. Alert, awake, and enthusiastic.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Happy to be recording.
Yes.
We haven't for a little while. Well, we have. No, that's
We
a lie.
have,
But
it's just been different. I wasn't feeling well, so we recorded virtually, which I'm not sure how I felt about that. I mean, if we have to, we have to.
yeah,
but
I think the part of the things that we love when we record is our banter. And number
it's
one,
hard to do that.
well, we couldn't banter because it was a delay as we were recording.
Not only that, it's hard to read the
Yeah,
person.
You
Like,
just can't.
you
And
just
or
can't
like,
do it.
yeah, or you would talk and I couldn't hear you. So, anyways, well, you live and you learn.
Tis what it is.
Tis what it is. Okay, you want a joke?
I do.
Please tell me I didn't lose it. Okay. Why do we call the aliens creating the pyramids a conspiracy theory?
Why?
It's obviously a pyramid scheme.
Okay, that was a good one.
It took me way too long to get that. We sat here for like 10 minutes while I was like, I gotta find a joke.
Gotta find one. Gotta find one.
And if anyone has good jokes, you guys, please send them. We need them.
Okay. Also, it's a paranormal themed.
Yeah, we need paranormal
Stuff.
themed, inappropriate. In my personal opinion, I like those ones better, but that's just
Hard to find.
just who I am.
All right. Well, hello and welcome to Lunatic Soup, the podcast where we go into all things wild, weird, and unknown. We're your host, Meg.
And I'm Raina, ready to brew up some lunatic soup.
Let's go. You've had this one on tap for a hot minute.
Oh my God, I'm so freaking excited. This is from Fierce County. So Fierce County is probably our favorite cider house we go to.
Tried and true.
Yeah. And we went there for our anniversary for May the 4th be with you. And they had a mango cherry on tap. And
It was, dare I say, my favorite. I really like their pumpkin one. Their Gordian of the
see,
Galaxy.
I love the pumpkin one, but like that's like great in the fall. I need my year round. Like this is a number one.
This is year round.
this
is
was heaven. It's
Look at the bottle. Did you notice the bottle? There's the Tacoma. It says T-Town, Defiance for Point Defiance, the Narrows for the Narrows.
oh my God, how cool.
Not a cute
Yeah.
design.
So Fierce County, they are in Puyallup, Washington. Hard-crafted cider in the 253.
Yes.
Where we
I'm
are.
super stoked.
So we're gonna crack this, and unfortunately, we've had it, so we know it's really good. But
But we will still give a honest and fair report.
knowing that I was going to get to drink this cider today has been motivating me through
I actually forgot about
a
it.
day of hell. I did not forget it. I have been waiting. It was part of why I was so sad when you were sick. When you were sick the other day and you couldn't drink, and I had to drink on my own because I was so mad we weren't drinking this. I was so excited.
So mad.
So mad.
So sorry.
Cheers.
Big mad.
Big mad.
Oh, man.
It's so good.
So good.
So good.
And it's got that, like I always say this about Fierce. It's got that, I don't know, that homemade taste.
Yeah,
to it. It's something, and we've had this at other local cideries.
Yeah.
Like it's that homemade taste. It's not as a commercialized taste.
Yeah, there's something about their cider that is just to die for. It's so good. And I actually got the owners to be a part of a cocktail book that I was doing for the city of Sumner, or am doing. It's almost done, thank God. But I basically forced him to put a cocktail in my book, and they were amazing and let me go and photograph. But they did a cocktail that has the gin cran,
Oh, that one's so good too.
heritage whiskey, and simple syrup. I think that's it, with like an orange twist. I'll have to show you. Have I shown you the pictures?
I think you showed me the picture, but I wasn't sure what.
Okay, well, it was like I haven't tried it yet, but I was just like putting the recipe down in the book today, yesterday, someday, and I was like, okay, I want to try this, and I'm not a whiskey drinker, but I can be convinced,
I've definitely tried.
especially with gin cran, because that's
Oh,
my favorite.
God.
So
Did they come up with it?
yeah,
They came up with it. So something that they had already been doing.
I don't know. I just told him that I bullied him into being in my book and told him he needed to get a cocktail. But so now we're forcing them to work with us on many different levels. They don't have a choice.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
You heard her. It's
Yeah.
her, not me. I'm sorry.
I know. All right, Meg, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about Tacoma, Washington extraterrestrials. I am so excited about this one. Basically, we're going to talk about a few different ET stories. They're all kind of connected.
Mhm.
And yeah, we're just going to discuss. June 21st, 1947, Tacoma resident Harold Dahl was working on conservations in the Puget Sound near the eastern shore of Maury Island.
Mhm.
This is the Maury Island incident. Do you know Maury Island?
I know where it is, but I think I don't know that I've been to it.
I learned through this that it is a part of Vashon Island,
Mm-hmm.
and it used to be not connected, but now it's connected. or
Oh,
something like that. That's what I was reading.
interesting.
So Harold, his son Charles, and their dog Sparky picked up 2 crew members in Tacoma and headed towards Maury Island, which is see here, I wrote it down. Look at me go. Which is attached to Vashon Island by a causeway.
And now I'm like, where? Okay, so
It's 6 miles west of Des Moines, so it's across from your parents, basically.
that's why I know it. Yeah.
It's right across from your parents.
Interesting. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay.
He was in the Puget Sound to unjam logs when he looked up and saw 6 donut-shaped crafts hovering about a mile above his boat.
Uh-oh.
There were holes in the center of the objects, which were about 25. The holes were about 25 feet in diameter.
Shit, so big.
When you see a donut shaped, like they were spheres with holes in the middle, they looked like donuts. So the object themselves were probably about 100 feet wide in diameter.
And 6 of them.
And there were 6 of them.
Jesus.
I would feel like more than this area would have.
I would that. Okay, that was exactly where I was waiting for you to go with the story to like hear what else was coming, but like I was like, how does just one person?
Yeah, because this area that we're talking about specifically, you can see across the sound.
Oh yeah,
Like I was just up there a few weeks ago, and we were on Vashon Island. We were probably very close to this, and you can see Des Moines.
yeah. When we
Like-
we take my parents' boat out of Des Moines, and you see you see Maury Island. Like
Yeah.
that's why I knew what it was. Like the second you said it was connected, I was like, oh yeah, because that's what we see like on the GPS, like or the whatever
Yeah.
the map thing that you
When
get
it's
look
there.
at on the boat. Yeah. Interesting.
So
I mean, so here's my theory that maybe there's like a malfunction in their glamour. No,
on acid
I mean that too, but I'm going the aliens
was
glamour malfunctioned.
acid around by the.
I'm sure it was.
Well, no, there was a doctor that was like experimenting with it, and that's when it became like a big thing. But
I mean-
I can't remember the years.
Yeah, I am not up to my acid history, unfortunately.
I mean, it's quite the history. It's quite the trip. He observed these crafts a bit, and then later one of the crafts started falling very fast to the ground, and it exploded,
Oh fuck.
which caused what they described as molten lava-like debris to rain down on them. The debris was so much that their dog did not survive, and Charlie, his son, got burned on one arm from the debris.
Okay.
The debris hit the beach, and Dahl was able to grab a few pieces, describing them as white, lightweight metal, along with about 20 tons of dark metal. So it was a mixture of light metal and dark metal, and he says it was about 20 tons. I don't know how you guesstimate that,
Okay.
but
Maybe he knew
his metal.
He knew his numbers. Yeah, he knew his maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm also the most terrible person at guessing like quantities of anything, like the jelly bean and the chocolate.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know, 100.
I remember there was a hack that I saw for like how to do it, and then I forgot.
Well, you take like a square area and you count what's in there, and then you.
Multiply it by what?
I have no
Yeah.
idea.
And I lose those things every time.
I would never win.
Me either.
How many people are here? I don't know, 20? There's 372, Meg.
I mean, it was a guesstimate.
It was a guess. What do you want from me?
Oh no.
Luckily, because Harold was doing research, he had his camera on him.
Oh.
He was able to snap a picture of the aircraft. After all the metal dropped, the crafts rose back. The other crafts rose back up into the air and headed west out to sea.
Uh-oh.
Dahl developed the film, and they came back showing strange airships. The negatives did have spots on them, which showed radiation was present. Remember, this is the 40s.
Do we have those pictures?
It was hard to find, like, what was real.
Okay, and what was not? Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Chris, he went back to his boss and told him what happened. His boss's last name was Chrisman. So Chrisman didn't believe Harold at first. And so Chrisman thought that he had doctored the images a little bit. And he did go back to Maury Island with him and took some samples of the rocks that was there to look for debris. While he was there, one of the airships came back and flew overhead of him. Chrisman described it as the craft was watching him. That's how it seemed. Like
interesting. Like they
intentional. You know when you have those stupid, what are those things that I hate? drones.
I
hate
didn't
drones.
know you hated drones.
Oh my God, I hate drones because there's like literally we've had people in our neighborhood, like I'll be in the backyard laying down or out there with the kids.
Yeah,
It'll hover over your yard. I freaking hate that. That is such an invasion of privacy.
Well,
but you know when they're watching you.
well, and yeah, that's like different because like I love drone footage. Like my brother-in-law flies them in like in Hawaii to see the whales. And that's insane.
Totally cool. But when you're in a neighborhood cul-de-sac and you're hovering in the backyard,
highly inappropriate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
We actually had the Northern Lights out here.
We did,
which was so cool, and I lost my freaking mind. It was like the coolest thing ever. Why are you laughing so hard?
Because of me and what happened with me. That I don't think you realized that like when the Northern Lights came out, so it was Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, it was Friday before Mother's Day.
Okay, so my husband went and got me some very potent edibles.
Oh no.
And so you guys are like,
Dana!
I can see the Northern Lights. I didn't realize that you really can't see them with your naked eye. Like you can a little bit, but they don't look the same as what pictures do.
They don't look the same as what pictures are, but from my house, I could see them.
Yeah.
Like they were dancing.
So I could see like the pink streaks or the blue, like, so I could see the streaks, so I could tell that they were out, but I was expecting to see what I was seeing, the text that you were sending through.
Oh, yeah.
So me, all very happy, not really in my right mind, and a few glasses of wine. I'm running up and down the streets trying to find the Northern Lights.
I wish I saw that.
And then my other neighbor, Megan, like texts me and she's like, yeah, I heard you outside yelling. Did you see them? And I was like, no, I can't see them. She goes, no, you just have to take a picture with your phone and that's how you see them. And I was like, God damn it.
Oh my God. See, where I live in a cul-de-sac and it's very open.
Yeah.
When I was in my backyard, you could hardly see them.
Yeah.
When I went to the front
Yeah.
and looked north, you could see the greens and the pinks. Like it was really
when I was like
cool.
out in front of my house, like over in the intersection areas, I could see it way better. But yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I went and drove up the hill with my girl.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
To see if I could see them overlooking like more of the mountain range. And you could, but not as good as just in my cul-de-sac. So when I was there, a drone was out.
Oh.
Because my oldest was like, what's that? And I saw it. I'm like, oh, it's just a drone. And you could see the flashing light. And then it stopped. And the light went off. And I'm like, you fucker, you know I'm watching you. It was like right by us.
Yeah.
And it stopped and the light went off.
Weird. I don't like it.
Go do your thing. Just ignore me here.
I just found this amazing like photo spot, you know, that Mount Rainier spot that I just and that it's super close to our house. It's not far away. And Tex and I were talking and I was like, damn it, I wish I would have known about this when the Northern Lights were out. I could have gone like it would have been unreal.
I bet there was so many people out there because I guess they could see them up there so much better than they could down here.
Dang. But I was also just not in a state to be leaving my house, so there's that.
That'll happen.
It was my Mother's Day weekend, okay? I was enjoying myself.
You can do
to the best of my ability.
You were a space cadet.
I was a space cadet. That is for damn sure.
We had to ground you.
I was almost with the aliens, I think.
Unlike me, who's ground control over here.
You are ground control. I am not at all. The opposite, but that's why we work. Oh no.
Oh man. So I already said that. Chrisman described it as the craft was watching him.
Yeah.
So that went on for a little bit and then went away and we move on with our day.
Okay.
The next morning, however, Harold Dahl reported that there was a knock at his door. And when he opened the door, a man in a black suit was at the door and asked him if he would like to go to
Here comes the man in black.
He wanted to know if he wanted to go to breakfast with them, but it wasn't more of a like, hey, you want to go to breakfast with me? It was like, you're going to breakfast with me. Get your stuff.
And then I'm going to flash your eyeballs, and then you're going to forget everything.
Such a good movie.
I know. Now we got to watch it.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, it is. That was solid.
All of them. And Agar.
Agar.
I
need, what does he say? I need water.
And
sugar water.
When he pulls his flesh back.
I know.
Like, I feel like we've all had to do that in some...
So I feel like my chin is now, as I get older, I feel like it's starting to sag a little. Get a turkey's suck it all back. I need a clothespin into my neck.
Yeah, what is that movie? The Greek one. My Big Fat Greek one.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that for a long time.
They go pull, and all the moms are pulling their neck fat.
Okay, that's great. That's so good.
Who would have thought we would have linked together Men in Black and
that,
Fat Greek Wedding.
you know, never say never.
So Dahl agreed that, yes, he would go to breakfast with him. I mean, I don't think he really had a choice.
Yeah.
But he was going to drive his own car. He followed the man in a suit who was driving an all-black, brand-new Buick. They ate, and the man in black did not ask any questions. He instead told Dahl a detailed account of what had happened on Maury Island.
Okay.
Like, he said, this is what happened.
Like, he told him an actual...
He's step-by-step account of what had happened, and he warned Dahl that bad things would happen to him and his family if he told anybody about the incident.
Oh, no.
So he confirmed everything and then said, keep your mouth shut.
Don't you fucking mention it to anyone.
So naturally, Dahl and Chrisman sent the package of photos and accounts to a publisher named Ray Palmer in Chicago.
Naturally. What, he's trying to get his teeth taken out? What happened to that one guy?
Oh,
Mel's hole?
Yeah. Mel's hole. He had his back teeth taken out.
Well, they're going to take his tongue before you know it. Then you really won't be able to... Yep. The Mummy.
Pirates of the Caribbean crap.
Oh, I was going to the Mummy.
Eyeball.
Oh, I can't believe it's taken us a whole year for me to find your actual bugaboo.
I will not watch that movie. I know it's a great movie. It's a I keep saying that word. Cinematic masterpiece.
I love that movie and the series. Love it.
No.
You're missing out.
Probably.
At least you know it.
Can't get past the eyeballs.
Yeah, fair enough.
In the package sent to Chicago was the metal fragments from the incident site and statements from both men of what happened.
Okay.
A couple of weeks later, Palmer, the publisher, contacted a man by the name of Kenneth Arnold, and he was involved in the flying saucers of Mount Rainier incident, which we will get into.
Ooh, okay.
And they began to investigate this UFO. Arnold came to Tacoma with an airline pilot named E.J. Smith, and the two of them met up with Dahl and Chrisman. They first investigated the boat and then interviewed the two men. Dahl and Chrisman did not offer up any photos at this time. Dahl informed Arnold that his son had also disappeared. Charlie, the son that was with him.
That had gotten burned?
Yes.
Oh.
Disappeared. Now, further reading into this, his son was a little bit older.
I was about
like
to say.
a kid. He was like a late teenager. And it was later discovered that his son was found in Montana working at a restaurant waiting tables and had no recollection of how he'd gotten there. Dun, dun, dun.
Sounds like he was abducted and then dropped back off.
Or it could have been the Men in Black.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
They said that they would get his family.
fuck.
First Lieutenant Frank Brown and Captain Lee Davison flew to Tacoma from California. They were with the military. The the Air Force was still being formed at this point, but they were essentially a part of the Air Force.
Okay.
These military men met with Chrisman and Dahl and Arnold, and they were said to speak for several hours. They were both pilots and intelligence specialists with the military. The men said that they may have something to this story and wanted to investigate it more. They did, however, have to leave back to California that night because the next day there was a special event in the military that they were required to be at.
Okay.
So they came up for a quick little interview and were heading back down.
Okay.
They left McCord Base
Okay.
at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
to head back, and about 20 minutes into their flight, the airplane crashed near Centralia, Washington, and both Brown and Davison died in the crash.
Uh-oh.
Chrisman and Dahl both reported that the officers took some of the metal samples from the UFO crash on board with them. And there were also reports of people in Centralia, civilians, that they heard anti-aircraft guns shooting the planes down out of the sky.
Oh my God. So I think what is wild about this, just because, we tell stories about all over the place. So for people who are not from where we are from Washington or from, our vicinity, the places that we are discussing are within 30 minutes to an hour of us.
This is our home.
This is our home. So it's wild to hear these these places like Centralia's, an hour from here, if even. Yeah, McCord Air Base also like
I pass McCord Base when I go to Barnes and Noble.
Yeah. Like, it's all just very close to us. And like Maury Island is right across from where my parents live. Like, it's just it's wild to hear, I'll hear all these places that are so
And that's why I want to do the haunted states or the spooky states.
Yeah.
Because I want people to hear these stories from wherever.
Yeah, from their own states, which is, it's so cool because when you hear places that you're like, hey, I know that. Because, yeah, like we said, we are not just strictly PNW, obviously.
No.
We do everywhere. But so it's like cool to hear. And it's so close to us, like even closer to where we live than, oh, God.
Yep. Both the local newspapers and the FBI got calls about the plane being intentionally shot down, and it was thought that this happened to cover up information that the officers gathered regarding the UFO. Now that there was a loss of life, the newly formed Air Force got involved and broadened its investigation, and the FBI launched their own investigation. So the government is investigating. So my question is there another government entity that's covering it up? Or is this a front for all of it? Like, are they saying they're investigating, but not really?
I feel like there is another government entity that's covering it up. I feel like that's something that we've heard the whispers of.
The X-Files?
It could be the X-Files.
I want to believe.
Could be. But it is. I do, like, I think that, I don't know. I feel like of all the conspiracy theories anybody believes, the ones that are that the government knows things about aliens and that they cover it up is probably like the most. I
don't even think that's a conspiracy theory.
Wow.
They did for sure 1,000% no.
I mean, yeah, but it's conspiracy because it hasn't been proven true. Kind of like a cryptid.
They're out there.
They're out there. I'm just saying. But it is wild because I do think, because you think you hear so many, like we were talking about whatever president, JFK, yeah, they like, it's a theory that he told about the aliens and then they went back and
made him,
killed him.
Yeah,
dead. He died. He dead.
He died.
He was dead.
No source given.
No source given. Just dead. Dead died.
But then the government will like sprinkle these little seeds, like with that whole big thing that they did last year with the whole like where they went to Congress and if you listen to it, they said nothing.
It's because they were trying to turn our heads away from the Jeffrey Epstein case during that. They know it's real. They're just they're dropping little things too, so that when it finally comes out, we all don't go into a full-on panic.
What was it? Non-human biologic.
Yeah, non-human biologic.
Okay, well, what the hell is that then? Like, you're not saying it, but
an animal.
They could cover it. They said nothing.
I mean, technically, aren't aliens cryptids though?
Yeah, I don't see why not. There is a theory that Bigfoot is in fact an alien. So.
Yeah, it could be a species that's somewhere else,
or an interdimensional traveler. So they were launching investigations, and the Air Force determined that the crash was an accident. They also spoke to Dahl and Chrisman and visited the boat. The report determined that the damage to the boat was not as described by Dahl and Chrisman, and that there weren't any piles of metal debris on Maury Island. The samples that they still had were said to be slag or regular metal debris from the area. The conclusion was the same for the FBI, and it was said by officials that Dahl and Chrisman faked the incident. That's a good way to cover it up.
I mean,
look at us go. We did a full-on investigation.
I mean, that's the thing, is that because they're a government entity, they can do that. They can.
Yeah, that's the official word.
That's the official. What was like the last week's episode when the Project Stargate, or whenever it was a few weeks ago, how like they went to Congress and they dropped all of the stuff about them using it for actual like military stuff. They were like, just kidding, that didn't happen.
Well, I mean, go back to Admiral Byrd for Antarctica.
Yep.
He went in, told them all this stuff, and they said, okay, but no, it didn't. Don't say a word to anybody.
Yep. And
they have too much power.
Weird. Weird.
Dahl and Chrisman did not argue with the outcome and refused to give any interviews for quite a while. And it came out that the government coerced them into dropping the matter, or else they would prosecute the men for fraud, which resulted in the death of 2 military officers. So because there was the deaths, now they had leverage against Chrisman and Dahl. Huh. Interesting.
Seems like a way to silence people.
Sure does. A few years later, however, in 1950, a magazine came out with 2 statements. Chrisman was stated saying that the incident did happen. Kenneth Arnold, remember he came and helped to investigate, began to write about the incident, publishing a book called The Coming of the Saucers in 1952 that featured the Maury Island incident. That's kind of what it became known as.
Yeah.
Author Gary Barker read up on the incident during research for his own paranormal books that he was writing. And in 1956, he published a book called They Knew Too Much About Flying Saucers. And this was the first story about the men in black who worked for the secret government agency to cover up the existence of UFO and extraterrestrial life.
Oh.
This book was based on the Maury Island incident and helped to popularize the Men in Black trope in mainstream media.
Damn.
So, like, you hear that, Will? You started here.
But you know what they say? They like, we've talked about this before. They like to put things that are real right in front of our faces.
Yeah.
Like they put them in the movies. They do that stuff. I'm just saying.
Oh, you're saying like the government?
Yeah, I'm saying that they
green-lighted the Men in Black movie. Because,
yeah.
Hey, look, it's fiction.
It's fiction. It's fake. But it's really, that's what they're saying with that new, I know that you don't give a fuck about the movie, landing on the
landing.
Yeah, they're saying that like
they put it right out in our face.
Yeah, they put it in our face. Just
that does
like,
look like a real.
I mean, it just looks like, I mean, it has Channing Tatum in it, so I might like Channing Tatum. He's very handsome.
Good for you.
He's not your type. Not your type.
Not at all.
So funny.
Not at all.
Yeah, very opposites, but
that's okay. That's okay.
You've never seen Magic Mike, then?
No, I haven't.
You couldn't handle it. You would die. You would be so uncomfortable. You would not.
Probably. I'd probably just giggle. Be like, that's stupid.
I think you would just sit there like, nope. I need to take you to a Thunder Down Under show.
Oh, that I'm down for.
Oh, okay. It's basically that. But
oh no, but Doug knows this. Like,
yeah.
Like,
I'm not.
Yeah, I've already told him if I go to Vegas, I'm going to Thunder.
I mean, watch a bunch of men dance around in their budgie smugglers,
and now I giggle.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna giggle the whole time.
But it is. It's like what I mean. Those are so fun though.
What did you call it?
In Australia, they call Speedos budgie smugglers.
Like the little bird.
Like your
little bird
smuggling a budgie in your.
I get it.
In your pants. Oh, yeah. It's them and their budgie smugglers. So yeah,
that's cute,
isn't it? Oh God, no, you got me.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about Kenneth Arnold, who was involved in the incident.
Okay.
Was a part of this whole thing. So on June 24th, 1947, pilot Kenneth Arnold reported seeing 9 objects in the sky. They were glowing bright blue and white lights, and they were flying in a V formation over Mount Rainier.
Dang.
Arnold estimated that the UFOs were flying at a speed of about 1,700 miles per hour. Again,
how do you
estimate that?
As a man.
Well,
you mansplained it.
So it was probably 500 miles an hour.
Yeah. Sorry to all our men listeners. We love you. We swear.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh, you got me the giggles going, and I just can't stop.
It's fine. When interviewed, Arnold said that the motion of the objects were a saucer if you skip it across water. So, when you skip, you skip and it kind of like glides like that. That's what he said it was like.
Oh, like bouncing. Yeah.
Yeah. What he meant by that was its motion, but it was mistakenly taken as the object was shaped like saucers, which coined the term
flying saucers.
Flying saucer. It's like the Hobgoblin Little Green Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that came about, and it was reported wrong.
Yeah,
and now we have Little Green Men.
Wild.
And now we have flying saucers.
All from good old Mount Rainier.
Mount Rainier.
Not
even in Appalachia.
Nope. Good old Washington.
Arnold originally reported that he thought the objects were test flights from the military, but learned that they were not conducting test flights during that time. Around the same time, a prospector down around Mount Adams said he saw the same thing, popularizing Arnold's story even more.
Dang.
Also, when I hear the term prospector, I just think of Toy Story.
Oh, yeah.
Prospector. Stinky Pete or whatever his name is.
I don't know. I've never watched that, like the series so much that I know.
Oh, my gosh.
It's like the first one, but not like, it's not in the first one, is it?
No, I think it's like the third
Yeah,
one.
see, those-
Or
that's-
the second one where Jesse comes into play.
Yeah, you lost me
And
after the
Bullseye.
first one.
Oh my gosh, I love those movies
Yeah.
so much.
I mean, I watched them, but like the first one was the one that I watched, and then after that was when the bear came out. I wasn't a big fan of the bear.
that was a third,
Or fourth, yeah,
I think.
it was a while down.
The fourth one came out like after we had like actual children, like this within the last 5 years, I think. My oldest daughter, Mia, she loved those.
Oh, really?
And she would, before she could really talk, she would come to my husband and go, I want the Freeze movie, and go, and freeze.
Yeah.
And he was so frustrated. Like Frozen wasn't out at
Yeah.
the time. He was so frustrated. He didn't know what. And she was getting so upset. She freeze, and freeze. And he goes, "Do you mean Toy Story where the toys freeze?" Yeah.
Duh, Dad.
Duh.
God.
She was tiny, like not even two at the time.
Such a hard phase when they are just learning words and like starting to communicate, and they know what they're saying, and it's coming out of their mouth. So
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
just like,
I mean, why they have temper tantrums
Yeah.
because they can't freaking communicate what they need to.
yeah, and you're like, I know that you know what you're saying, but I can't figure out what the fuck is coming out of your mouth.
We're in that stage with Olive right now.
Yeah.
Like she's 4, she can speak, but sometimes she just doesn't know exactly what it is.
Still in that phase. Like she'll get fixated. Like she was telling me she wanted this square of pizza that with pepperoni, or no, that's square pepperoni. She kept talking about square pepperoni. And I was like,
Tony's Pizza.
no, but it's not Tony. It wasn't like pizza. It wasn't a
Oh.
pizza, but it was like, I want you to get the square pepperoni from the store. And I was like, just the pepperoni? She's like, no, the thing with the square, the pepperoni. And I'm like, I was like, a Hot Pocket? I was like, is it an actual pizza? She was like in tears in the backseat. I was like,
Oh,
I don't know.
But you know what trumps all pizzas?
What?
The little bagel bite.
I mean, those are good until you bite into one when they're hot as balls and it
Well,
scorches the roof of your mouth.
I will take a bagel bite over like a Hot Pocket or a Pizza Pocket anytime.
Oh
anytime.
no, I'm a Hot Pocket. Hence, I ate a Hot Pocket right
You
before we
did.
started recording. I didn't eat anything yet today because it was a busy day. My brain didn't remind me to eat. And I knew we were drinking this cider, and Fierce has a high percentage of alcohol in their ciders. And I was like, I need food in my stomach. Otherwise, I'm going to be cross-eyed on the podcast today. So,
Night, Raina.
Night. So I had a Hot Pocket. It was delightful. I did burn my mouth, though.
I don't know the last time I had a Hot Pocket, if I'm being
Yeah.
totally honest.
Mine was 25 minutes ago.
Mine was probably 5 years ago.
I'm so sorry for you. I love a Hot Pocket.
It just doesn't do it for me.
Oh, something's wrong with you.
Probably many things.
With extra ranch. Just like dip it in and it goes in.
I can say I have never had a Hot Pocket with ranch. I'm not a huge ranch fan. I know.
I don't know how we're friends. Makes me uncomfortable. So wait, you do dip your pizza in ranch ever?
No, that's not a thing. The look in your face right now. So much so that, I mean, Lucy was probably 3 and we went to a store. So Lucy's my 3rd child. So I've been a parent for a long time at this point. We took her out to lunch when her sisters were in school, and and ranch came with the little carrots. It was down at the Ram. And she calls that the place with ranch because it was the first time she had ranch and she loved it.
Well, let me tell you, my children are obsessed with ranch to the point that Leia for breakfast often says, Mom, can I have carrots and ranch for breakfast?
I mean, at least you got carrots.
I mean, but ranch isn't horrible. Like you think, it could be worse.
It could be worse. I do like a friend a couple of years ago, she lives right down the street from you actually. She would take sour cream and put the ranch packet in it as a dip. I've done that.
Tomorrow night, well, this is airing whenever
You're not supposed to timestamp.
I know, but
you talked to me about this.
Well, it's for both of us, clearly. It's not just you. But anyways, I'm having a little get together for the book deal that I have to have some friends taste some of the appetizers because I have to put appetizers in it and some of the cocktails. And
Gladly. I love appetizers.
Me too.
Only apps, please.
Well, there's going to be apps. One of my appetizers that I did was one that I came up with my best friend Keelan at 2:00 in the morning when we were drunk. And we were like, let's put an appetizer in that's like, about us kind of like.
Is there cheese involved? Is there going to be? Okay.
It's a potato medallion with cheese, bacon, and whatever. But then the ranch is what is so good. It is a homemade ranch that I have perfected, and it has chopped up pickles and fresh jalapenos in it.
Okay, that I will try.
It is
like gladly.
Fucking delicious.
There is one ranch dressing that I like,
Mm-hmm.
and it is from Outback Steakhouse. It's like
Okay.
a spicy ranch. I don't like Hidden Valley Ranch.
So
Ugh.
Shannon is the same. She's very particular about her ranch, and she had the ranch that Keelan and I made up. It has like a little bit of pickle juice in it. It's
Raina's Ranch.
Raina's Ranch.
Raina's Ranch.
My Raina's Ranch recipe if you want it.
I love some alliteration.
It's so fucking good. You eat it with a tortilla chip and salsa too.
Oh, you've done that with. Yeah.
Oh, I made you.
Yeah. But it was like a good ranch.
That was my homemade.
Oh, that was your homemade ranch.
But it wasn't. That was like the base of it. So that wasn't with.
But you add pickles and jalapenos and anything.
The fresh jalapenos give it this like, but it's not too spicy because you don't put the seeds in. Oh, it's so good.
I had a rosé when we had those really hot days, and I put some sliced jalapeno in it, and I overdid it.
Oh yeah.
It was a very spicy.
Too much.
It was so spicy. It was too spicy. It was pretty spicy.
Oh, that is good. The rosé and the jalapeno is still one of my favorite.
I'm on a rosé kick, but I've been on one for like a year now.
Yeah, you've been on a solid one. Mine's definitely seasonal, but then sometimes I have it. I'm like, oh, I forget how much I love rosé.
It's when I'm cooking.
Yeah.
It's when I'm cooking. Although I had this on one of the last episodes we did when I wasn't feeling good. It's rosé sparkling water. Oh my gosh.
I need to get
it. It is
try.
so good. It's Waterloo.
Yeah, I just am like a big lime and sparkling water fan. That's just like, I do fresh lime.
Yeah.
And that's like my happy place.
But it's such a good alternative.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
When I'm cooking, I have to have a wine glass. I don't really care what's in it. I just have to have. And you know those fancy wine glasses that Doug got me for my birthday?
Yeah, they're beautiful.
It's the green one. I need the green one.
Yes,
because that's my favorite color.
Yep.
But now my babies need to have their fancy glasses.
I know you said that Olive loves her fancy glass. I mean,
she will pitch it until she gets her fancy glass.
You know what? Let that baby be bougie if she wants to.
Yes.
Let her do it.
And they're just like cheap little glasses from IKEA. Like, I don't even care.
Yeah. We have plastic ones for my kids for the fancy ones.
Perfect.
With glitter on them. Wine glasses. Like, they think they're fun.
I should do that. I should get them all like these fancy glasses.
I have lots of them.
That'd be fun.
It is. They think it's entertaining.
You know what I used to have is a bunch of Coca-Cola glasses because I'm like a Diet Coke fiend.
You are.
I need to get more of those. They've all broken.
All of my matching wine glasses have broken. I gotta go buy new ones.
Dollar store, baby.
No, I need the thin wine glasses. Those thin, nice ones.
Oh, not for like photography, for like actual.
Yeah, for
drinking.
For me consuming alcohol.
Marshalls, don't you have to
Marshalls? I have to clear out all of the random ones that I have, and I'm in an abundance of cups right now because of my photography.
Yeah,
I have tons of martini glasses currently, some beautiful ones. So
Excellent. I need to get new cups altogether because somehow I don't know the kids eat them.
I know. How do they disappear like that?
I don't know, but I bet if I go and look under Mia's bed, they're all up there.
I feel like that and forks. I've been losing a lot of forks and spoons, baby spoons, smaller spoons that I like, not the big ones, but the ones that I like.
I stopped trying to get sets. When I run low on a utensil, I just get the bulk thing from Amazon.
Oh, smart. I just get Walmart has like the pack of like 5. I'll go in there and get some. I'm like, that's replenished for now.
Because at this point, nothing's going to match. Nothing's going to look. I am trying to redo my house to be like nice and grown up. It is what it is.
I mean, we are grown up and it is nice.
Me too.
Ish. I love kids. Easy. Mm-hmm.
Where were we? Prospector. Wow, we really tangented there.
Yeah, a lot of that's gonna get cut.
Arnold went to the media about his story to spread so that the news could spread, right?
Yeah.
And it did. The number of UFO sightings began to increase dramatically. And the following month, in July of 1947, the famous Roswell, New Mexico case debuted in local New Mexico papers, claiming that personnel of the nearby U.S. Army airfield had recovered a crashed flying saucer. We're not going to get into that incident. That's a whole other episode. But Roswell, y'all heard it.
We know. Ish.
Because of the number of increased sightings, the Air Force began to investigate them, and they called this investigation Operation Sign. Signs. Ever heard of it?
I have.
Yep. In 1948, they claimed that UFOs were actually sophisticated Soviet aircrafts, or they hypothesized that they could potentially, maybe, possibly, kind of, sort of, sometimes, I don't know if they are, but be extraterrestrial spacecrafts.
Oh, kind of, sort of, sometimes, maybe.
Slight chance.
There's a chance.
Itty bitty, titty bitty.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Teeny tiny.
Okay. Teeny tiny.
The Air Force concluded that Arnold and the prospector from Mount Adams, were credible witnesses, but said that they were probably seeing mirages, not actual aircraft.
You silly Billy, it was a mirage.
Project Sign turned into Project Grudge, which turned into Project Blue Book. Ever heard of that?
Uh-huh.
Project Blue Book became the U.S. government's longest-running official inquiries into UFOs. They compiled reports of more than 12,000 UFO sightings from 1952 to 1969. 90% of these were classified as identified, which meant they were either astronomical, atmospheric, or artificial man-made phenomena.
Ooh.
The remaining were concluded to be unidentified due to insufficient information as to what their identity might be. In 1969, the Condon Report came out, concluding that after a two-year study, that information collected was not scientifically useful and shut down Project Blue Book. This did not make the whole UFO subculture lose any steam, and even Jimmy Carter, who was elected in 1976, claimed to have seen a UFO, and movies began coming out surrounding the genre. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, UFO Experience. Have you seen Close Encounter of the Third Kind? With Richard Dreyfuss, I think his name. That's an old school one that I remember watching with my dad.
Like, I know of it, but I've never seen it.
You've heard the burn, burn, burn.
Oh yeah.
That's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It's an excellent movie.
Yeah.
Excellent movie. So back to Kenneth Arnold, his reports of sightings around Mount Rainier were making UFO sightings go wild. And a few days after his reports, a minister from Oregon said it was the signs of the second coming of Christ.
Oh my God, it was the rapture.
It was the rapture. It's coming.
It's always coming, apparently. Hasn't yet.
Not yet.
Waiting.
Arnold also got a call from a preacher in Texas who told him he was getting his, quote, flock ready for the end of the world. Good old cults. I shouldn't say that about a preacher, but you're getting your flock ready. Like, that's how every good cult story starts.
I mean, it is.
It is.
Could you imagine if the rapture did happen and it took all those, good-hearted Christian goers up to the sky and then all of us sinners were left down here?
I'm not going to comment.
It sounds like a great time.
I am so much more careful than you are. A woman told Arnold that she was worried and had to protect her children from men from Mars. That's not on my bucket list. That's not on my worry list. I have so many other things that I am worried about my children. Like, I don't know, sending them to school.
Yeah, just school in general. Yeah. Not so much.
Not men from Mars.
Not
the least of my worries.
No.
Men from Earth? Men from Earth? That's men from Earth I'm worried about.
Terrified.
Terrified.
You've seen the thing going around the internet. Man versus bear.
You know what it is? Steve Irwin said it the best. A crocodile always behaves as a crocodile.
Yep. Damn.
So I know how a bear is going to react.
Yeah.
I know what they're going to do. I don't know about a man. It could be great. Could be fine. We could shelter in place. It's going to be romantic. I don't know.
A bear's going to bear.
Bear's going to bear.
A bear's going to bear.
Yep.
A man. I saw too many fucked up things when that happened.
Oh, like people were sympathizing. People were
just things that people are coming out with, like, that men have done to, like, just all kinds of stuff that I just scarring things that I just.
Oh, I'm sure it's horrific.
Horrific. I don't like it.
True. Not all men.
Not all.
But we know all men. Know all bears.
Yeah.
That one we know.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
I'll take my chances with the bear.
I will happily take my chances with the bear. 1,000%.
Expect.
If I encounter a bear, I know what to do.
Now, crocodiles, on the other hand, they terrify me.
I mean, they are scary. I mean, no, all of it scares me. All of it scares me, but...
No, I would rather take my chances with a bear than an alligator or a crocodile. That terrifies the hell out of me.
Yeah, I mean, an alligator doing the roll thing, or the crocodiles, they do the death rolls. That's scary.
My dad texted my daughter, Lucy, last week and said, hey, I'm out fossil hunting in the river. There's an alligator right next to me. I mean, he's in water up to his waist.
That's kind of cool.
Looking
for fossil hunting, though.
No!
I see people do it on TikTok. It looks so cool.
He does that.
Does he get a megalodon teeth?
I have one at my house from his house. Yeah. He gets megalodon bones. Oh, not megalodon. What am I saying? Not mammoth, mastodon.
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 That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. But I follow this guy on TikTok who does the archaeology stuff in the Peace River, which is where my dad lives. And he gets megalodon teeth all the time.
Wild.
Yeah.
Just so cool.
Like when I'm going there soon, and when I'm there, I would gladly go look for fossils in a shallow little bubbly stream.
The water's clear, isn't it?
No.
Oh, it's
no.
not. Okay, then.
No.
I'm out when the water's not clear. I'm out.
I told Lucy to text her grandpa back and be like, Mom said you're stupid.
Did she?
Yes.
I love Lucy.
My Lucy has my back. No, alligators, crocodiles, I am out. I saw them when I was there in January. Those things are monsters. They are dinosaurs.
They are.
They could just, and you're done.
I mean, those are terrifying. You hear stories about those too. Anyways, whoa, go back to aliens.
Whoa.
Less scary, just anal probing. Also terrifying.
Washington State created a special form for UFO sightings and reportings. They were taken from around the area by the Civil Defense Authority and Washington State Patrol and sent to the Air Force. On the form, reportees were asked to describe the color, shape, speed, and location of the sightings and objects, and they wanted things as specific as possible. Arnold's reports led to him going to Tacoma to investigate the Maury Island incident, which brings us to the lore of the Men in Black, who have become a standard in UFO lore since. So those are two of the UFO extraterrestrial incidents in Washington. Tacoma leads to the Men in Black.
Wild. So it's like wild to think that, like, so technically when we're going back historically, the whole theory of Men in Black started in Washington.
It started in Washington. It started in Tacoma.
Washington.
When I first learned that, we were on a ghost tour in Tacoma at McMinimans.
Yep.
Which is great. If you have a chance to go to any McMinimans, please go. It is the most fun place you'll ever go to in your life. And yeah, that's where we learned that's where the Men in, and then I'm like, whoa, I got to look into this.
It is wild, like that story that the Men in Black came, knocked on his door, and then took him to breakfast. It's kind of like what you see in the movies. I'm just saying.
Excellent.
Yes.
Elvis ain't dead. He just went home.
Yeah. I mean, you never know.
Or he's at a retirement facility and there's a mummy trying to suck his soul out of his butt.
There's a theory on TikTok. Wait, what? Suck his soul out of his butt? The fuck?
It's a movie called Bubba Hotep.
Oh, God.
It's ridiculous.
The shit. I was going with, there's a theory on TikTok that this old preacher man in the South somewhere is actually Elvis. He sings like him, he sounds like him, and that he went into the witness protection program and
it tracks.
Whatever. But it's when you see the guy, you're like, that adds up. I don't know.
But if that was the case, why would he pick died on a toilet?
Well, does he get to pick? When you die, do you get to pick how you die?
Well, no. If he went into the witness protection
I know
program,
that. I'm saying, but did he get to pick that? Like,
who would pick that?
Maybe someone who didn't like Elvis. They're like, let's do something believable.
Like, let's go out in a blaze of glory, airplane crash, or
shitter's full. Touche. But you never know. Maybe it'd be more believable if it was something
on the toilet.
No, thank you.
Why not?
Yeah, just go for it. Anyways, but wild. All right. Well,
yeah. Well, so that's it. I have a lot more like ET stories, but I'm going to save that for our spooky Washington.
Yeah, but that just is like the gist of like how the Men in Black in Washington, how it all got started, and dang, and there are still lots of sightings of alien type of stuff in our area.
Mount Rainier is a hot spot.
Yeah. Like I was saying, I just did a photo shoot where it was the most insane view of Mount Rainier, and it was stunning. But it is one of those that when you Google, like when you look up alien things, Washington, it's like all around Mount Rainier, people see stuff.
And I feel like it's around mountain ranges in general. You got the White Mountains in New Hampshire, where it was a big hot spot. You have Mount Mansfield, which is where I grew up in Vermont, and I have an experience with Mount Mansfield. Like, I think I've said it before.
Yeah, you have on here. Yeah,
like just glowing giant balls.
I've never seen anything, but I would love to. This is what we need to do. We need to dress up with our tin hats and get pictures in front of Mount Rainier for that spot.
UFO Day is coming up pretty damn quick.
When?
About a year ago, we did our little UFO thing, so it's like ASAP.
Oh, soon.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get our tinfoil hats back on.
Tinfoil hats.
We need the behind the scenes. Remember, Tex took all those behind the scenes of us.
I mean, we were freaking imbeciles.
We had a good time.
It was a really good time.
It was. We had so much fun.
Sometimes I feel I'm gonna get away.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We'll repost that one. That was solid. It was a good one.
That was a good one. That was one of like our first real like tickety talk.
Yeah, a good TikTok though.
Like a good one.
Mm-hmm. I still am a fan of that. I use the footage of that like all the time for random things
because it's so good.
Yeah,
and we had the eye movements down like.
It took us a second, but then when we did,
but once we coordinate, I mean, it takes us a minute to coordinate, but once we could coordinate with it,
yeah,
good things happen.
Words be hard. I learned that when I did the podcast when we swapped spots, and I was like, "This is not. I fucking don't like this at all."
Okay. So little appreciation.
Oh,
I do over here in the right
clear.
seat.
I have always
What side
had
am I on?
my right. You're on my right side. This is my right hand. But so
I remember where I lived in like kindergarten. No, second grade. And I remember like which side the bridge was on. That was the right side. So every time I go back to that place, South Burlington, Vermont.
I love it. That's
okay, the bridge is over here. That's right.
Yeah, there it is. But no, I've always had appreciation for your job because number one, we know I'm not a writer. And that's like not my jam. And number two, like reading and like keeping the story going is just not reading words without stumbling 5,000 times. And it's funny.
Stumble?
Well, I know, but not nearly as bad as I do. But you all, like you said to me one time when you were stumbling, you're like, I feel like you just look at me like, get it together. And I never think that. I'm just more like, because I know that I couldn't be doing it. I just know that my words don't come out.
We do know that I also can't further the banter as well. We each have our strengths.
We do, for sure. But yeah, it was definitely a very like, I'm like, no, I am quite happy over here drinking my cider and maybe letting you do the storytelling and me coming in with the, dumbassery.
We got a good thing going.
We do have a good thing going. I'm not mad about it.
Well, we got another episode to record, so we're going to wrap this one up.
Well, shit. If you guys want to catch us, you should, check out the social medias at Lunatic Soup Podcast on everything.
Lunatic Soup Podcast at gmail.com.
And the YouTubes. I got to update the YouTubes. I've been off my game. I've been busy.
And remember, we've got the Haunted Farmers Market in Tacoma, Washington coming up this summer.
July 20th.
July 20th. We might add extra dates, but just keep those in mind. Come down and see us.
Yeah.
You can find the sign up on our website or at the Haunted Farmers Market.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, go get yourself a lunatic soup.
Yes. And remember, in this crazy world,
it's good to be a lunatic.
Bye.
Bye.